The importance and works of catechists brought to the fore this day as they convened on the St. Charles Luanga Parish Moliko for their annual general meeting. In a mass presided today for them by the Bishop His Lordship Michael Bibi, he reminded them of the primary role of their vocation. Intercomprehensive High School pays a practical visit to the printing press of the Diocese of Buea. This is to enhance the students' abilities on industry standard education. And Victoria United, also known as Opopo, is the champion of the 2024 National Elite on Championship. They were crowned yesterday after beating Stade Renat of Melong. Good evening and welcome to Divine Mercy Prime. Those were the headlines for tonight's newscast. Their full readouts will be yours in a moment. Catechists of the Diocese of Buea have been reminded of their primary goal and role in the field of their vocation. This was during a holy mass that sets the pace of their annual general meeting. Bishop Michael Bibi, Bishop of the Diocese of Buea, presided at that holy mass as their gathering marks the commencement of the one-year-long activities of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea. Nadesh May was present during this event and now reports.
This Holy Mass, presided at by Bishop Michael Bibi, set the space for the annual general meeting of catechists. The catechists drafted from all the 40 parishes that constitute the Diocese of Buea convened at St. Charles Luanga Parish Moliko Buea for the event. During this Holy Mass, the proper teacher of the faith in the Diocese of Buea, His Lordship Michael Bibi, reminded the catechists of the primary goal of catechesis, which is convention, as well as their role of teaching.
The primary goal for catechesis is not being a condemnation. The primary goal for catechesis is conversion. I think say we will be na catechism. Catechism na person way if he talk God, he talk for other people. We give a lens, say for inside we ministry for catechesis. We be the action for teach God a talk. We give a make sure say we not condemn people that were inside we community.
The functionality of these men and women is rooted in the grounds of spreading evangelization to the Christian community. They must ensure effective communication with priests in their various parishes. Hence, Bishop Michael Bibi echoed mutual respect to the catechists pertaining to their vocation.
In order for make sure so many things in Waka and then Waka fine as far as the life of catechism be concerned. We know very well, all we bishop, we father them, we begin them, even we should don't forget. If we be Christian them today, we be father and bishop them today. Now thanks to the catechist. Because the catechist them from the very beginning, that tender age, and then be help we for make we be massive and them members of a cadets of Mary, for maybe for the youth group, for follow we up and for teach we, so that we go always do the work way God in one way for doing.
He further emphasized on the challenges which obscure their training and encouraged them never to relent their effort in spreading the good news of Christ.
We know, of course, say sometimes the challenges and the resources them, forget them. We also know, of course, so sometimes the challenge should also be, say, some catechism too, they never get the necessary training where they get forget them. And we also know, say, another challenge, it being as say, most of the catechism will get them being a part-time catechism, and some of them being a volunteer catechist them. Now, they catechise them to then get for follow that change. We mean say, if a diocese now, we encourage any person where they work for diocese to go for with microfinance, go take their money, catechise their money to give a partner through that bank. So that you know go depend on the goodwill of the parish priest.
It should be noted that this annual general meeting of catechists in the Diocese of Buea officially marks the beginning of the one-year-long activities for the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea.
Meanwhile, after the Eucharistic celebration presided at by His Lordship Michael Bibi, they all converged at St. Charles Lwanga Parish Hall, Moliko Buea, for the diocesan election of new executive members for a mandate of 3 years. Nadesh met once more.
Few months after their last training as catechists of the Diocese of Buea, these catechists converged this day at St. Charles Lwanga Parish Moliko Buea for the diocesan election of the new executive members, which will last for a period of 3 years. The election was conducted in the presence of His Lordship Michael Bibi, the Vicar for Clergy, Reverend Father John Chamda, amongst others. In line with these, the chaplain for catechists of the Diocese of Buea, who doubles as the pastoral director, Reverend Father Theophil Seka, expatiates more on carrying out such a process.
The catechists in the Diocese of Buea have gathered from all the nooks and crannies, the 7 deaneries and the 40 parishes, to be able in this general annual meeting to talk about the things that concern our life as catechists. And what is important for this meeting is also an annual meeting with the bishop, who is the first catechist. And so we have gathered also, one of the main high points is to renew the bureau, because the bylaws say that after 3 years, the bureau should be renewed. So we had an occasion in this General Assembly to have the opinion of almost all the catechists, those present.
As they turn out in their numbers from the 40 parishes that makes up the 7 deaneries of the Diocese of Buea for their annual general meeting, their chaplain points out some criteria that must be respected by the candidates.
Has been, first of all, those voted in place should be those who are registered in the association. And secondly, should be those who are up to date also with their dues. And there's nomination and then there's votation. And so the bureau has been renewed.
The newly elected president, who scored 81 out of 105 votes, outlined some key aspects he would like his administration to look into as concerns the Diocese of Buea, like working closely with the catechists of small Christian communities.
I'm very happy that I've been nominated again. I'm elected again today as president of this group. You know, we have a lot to do, and we started something. Already the bishop has opted to help us, and I look at it in a way that if I refuse, then tomorrow things will not move the way we are already planning for. We already bought materials to prepare uniform for the catechists that they are going to wear during the celebration of the feast, and of which now already we have already got a plan. I could not expose the plan yet until after this was put the plan, because we want to go around the parishes to, let me say, to work with the SCC catechists. We want to implant the message of evangelization.
Some catechists who answered present during this diocesan election equally gave their appraisal of the election as they advised the newly elect.
We the catechists also are doing election, and the executive that going to carry on 3 years program again. The executive carry on 3 years, and after 3 years we do election. So today again we are renewing the election today for the people that will carry on for the next 3 years.
Today, coordinator with the president, Paul Okam, where he don't win today again for the second mandate. When he go for the second mandate, because the work we don't work tirelessly. Every day, he did try by all means to fight for senior categories, they be fine. And to follow the policy, the bishop, we don't try for me, you don't try to fight for me, and at the end of this, I say, today, we don't start putting out the chair. Why are we today? So we're very happy.
As these catechists disperse to their various deaneries and parishes, they are expected to live in harmony while respecting the newly elected in the Diocese of Buea.
Christians of the Diocese of Buea are hopeful with their prelate for a successful celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Diocese of Buea come April 2025. This was during a launching mass presided at by Bishop Michael Bibi this Thursday at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, Moliko, Buea. Joseph Otto was present during this launch and now reports.
When the clock chimed 9 a.m., religious, priests and Christians of the Diocese of Buea this Thursday, April 18, 2024, converged on the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Parish for the launching mass of the 75th anniversary of the diocese under the theme Proclaim the Good News, I Am With You Always, presided at by the Right Reverend Michael Bibi, Bishop of the Diocese of Buea. 74 years now, the mother diocese, Buea Diocese, has over the years grown spiritually and physically through their priests and 5 bishops by reaching out to the less privileged, communing with the people of God, and spreading the gospel to the ends of the earth. The Diocese of Buea being an embodiment of dedication, wisdom and impact over the years, the president of the Diocesan Pastoral Council recounts the works of the bishop and emeriti bishops while appreciating the dedication of priests and Christians. Being at the forefront celebrating these milestones, the prelate of the Diocese of Buea outlines what next after this launching.
Beginning with this launching, we are going to have celebrations at the 7 deaneries that make up the Diocese of Buea. And these deaneries are a conglomeration of different parishes that will come together for the celebrations. At the level of the apostolic and prayer and action groups, we are going to have celebrations with the different prayer and action groups in the church. We are going to have celebrations with the schools. We are going to have celebrations with the different services within the course of the year. And the greatest of all will be the annual seminar of the Bishops of Cameroon, who will be coming here within the context of the 75th anniversary from the 4th to the 11th of January 2025 for their annual seminar.
Meanwhile, hopes are high that everything will be a success come 2025.
If God is on our side, who can be against us? God is there with us and He knows our intention. The Christians, they know the importance of the structures. And we have informed the Christians, and they are all excited to see to it that the bishops will be able to use accommodation that the diocese has prepared. So I am very, very confident that by November ending, the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, the work there should have come to completion, both inside the church where we just came out and down at the basement. Make sure that everything is completed, and together with the Christians, we are also confident that come November 2024, the Pastoral Center would have completed the necessary accommodations that will be able to host the bishop. Even if we don't finish all the structures that are supposed to be at the Pastoral Center, the structures that the bishops will need for their accommodation will be completed.
Drawing closer to year 75, one can therefore say that the journey of the Diocese of Buea is an embodiment of dedication and impact.
As educational stakeholders in the country are striving for more practicals to be added in school curriculum, some institutions are matching words with action as they carry out field trips in a bid to promote hands-on education. Such is the case with ICHS Buea, whose students had a practical session at the Catholic Printing Press. Aloysius Like picked interest in the field trip and emphasized its importance in this report.
In a bid to promote more practical sessions than theory in the system of education in the country, the government of Cameroon is leaving no stone unturned in introducing hands-on education into the curriculum of schools in the country. It is for this reason that commercial students of the Intercomprehensive High School in Buea carried out a field trip to the Catholic Communication Service in the Diocese of Buea to see what have been taught in the classrooms. These commercial students, after having lectures on office practice activities and the various stages and process of binding and forms and sizes of papers were excited to study, feel and ask questions on the functions and operations of a printing press. Mr. Kenyu Denis, a teacher at the institution who accompanied these students, explains the importance of this visit.
Office practice is a subject that has both theory and practical. So we have been doing the theory with them in class. So we want to bring them now to the field to actually be seeing the machine that we have been talking about and maybe the different processes that information or document are being produced. One of the philosophers widely said, Jean Piaget, that the students learn better when they are engaged in active participation. So that is why we try to blend the theory and practice together. That's why we are here today.
The students in the course of the field trip were drilled by the various units under the printing press, during which they were shown machines such as the hot binding machine, the guillotine or the trimming machine, the GTO offset, coarse printing, plate scanner, and their various functions. After the practical session, some of these students shared what they learned during their field trip with us.
We've learned the process of printing documents, we've learned about hot binding, we've learned about the guillotine, we've learned about the wet printing process, where we saw the blanket, we saw the cylinder. And also we went to the manual section where we saw the manual hand machine. We are also happy to know the functions of the various machines and their uses.
As they go back to prepare for their final exams, these students' ideas and approach towards what they knew before and what have been added during the field trip will make a big difference, reason why other institutions should give these young learners more opportunities to take the future by storm.
Activities marking the closing ceremony of the World Day of Catholic Schools in the Diocese of Boya for the year 2023-2024 will come to an end this Sunday, April 21st, 2024. All Catholic colleges drafted from the Diocese of Boya will converge on Bishop Rogan College for the finals, wherein prizes will be awarded to victorious schools. Hilaron Clinton from our news desk had an interview with the head of the organizing committee, Emil Mbela, who contextualized the events and outlined that the event is open for all parents, guardians, as well as well-wishers. His report.
The gate of Bishop Rogan College, Small Sopo Boya, will this Sunday, April 21st, 2024 at some 9 a.m. be open again to welcome students, teachers and parents for the finals of the World Day of Catholic Schools competition in the Diocese of Boya. Emil Mbela heads the organizing committee of the World Day of Catholic Schools and Colleges for the 2023-2024 edition.
Emil Mbela, the technical coordinator for the World of Catholic Schools and Colleges. We are gradually getting to the end of these activities, which we earlier started in February. And the last day of all these activities will be taking place on Sunday, the 21st of April 2024 in Bishop Rogan College. These activities will start with the welcoming of all the various schools that will come from Limbe, Tiko, Motengene, and all over Boya and Bojongo. They will come on from 8:30 a.m. which will be receiving the schools. At 9:30 there will be the official opening of the final activities, and exactly 10 a.m. we are starting the activities.
As the date draws near, anticipation is running high among students and staff alike. Sport-like discipline will include football, basketball, handball, volleyball, and athletics, just to name but these. However, the competition will be a friendly one, embodying the spirit of oneness that defines the Catholic education.
These activities will range from football, basketball, handball, volleyball, and other minor games like chair dance and shooting competition, and we'll also have tug of war.
As the students display their talent and sportsmanship at Bishop Rogan College comes Sunday, April 2024, parents, guardians, and spectators will be trained by the students in their various disciplines.
And as we are going gradually, we are saying that the parents are welcome to come support this wonderful initiative. Come see their children perform in the best of themselves. The general public, our parents of our schools, well-wishers, that they should count on us that this is going to happen and it's going to be a great breakthrough.
The staffs of these schools will not be left out of this competition as they will be battling in different sporting disciplines among themselves.
So the staff and the staff of the various schools will be in for volleyball, football ladies and football men. It's really a huge program.
The intense competition, launched since February 2nd, 2024 at Ripacol, will be crowned at Bishop Brogan College with award of prizes wherein outstanding schools will be recognized and awarded for their achievements.
And thereafter we'll be handing the prizes to the various schools. I think we're having some jealous prizes thanks to so many contributors from the diocese and beyond the diocese who have supported this program enormously, and some higher institutions.
One can only use the adage, "come and see," to describe the atmosphere that will envelop Bishop Brogan College come Sunday, April 21st, 2024.
In sports, Victoria United FC of Limbe fondly calls Opopo, which means one people, one power, have been crowned champions of the 2024 National Elite 1 League following a 2-all draw against Stade Renard of Melong on the final day of the playoffs up. In the report that follows, Father Solomon Lyonga Ikundi notes that the success of Opopo is a dream come true, but they must immediately start preparing to represent Cameroon in the CAF Champions League. His report.
I have come to win this championship for this year. This is just the beginning. We have seen some errors that they have committed in the field. What they played in the second half is not my system of play. But anyway, we have gotten the victory and I'm happy. I know I'm going to be the champion of the Elite One. I'm not doubting. I am ready for the championship. I've put a lot of resources, a lot of tactical games, a lot of physical, and I know I'm going to go for CAF Championship this year.
What seemed like a dream when the National Elite One Championship began on the 27th of September 2023 has now come to pass. George Orwell suggested in 1984 that power is not given, it is seized. Victoria United fought hard to finish as champions of the Cameroon Top Flight Division, but they could only pop the champagne following the outcome of matches of the last playing day of the playoffs up Thursday, April 18 at the Mbappé Lepe Stadium in Douala. Opopo went into their final match absolutely needing at least a draw to clinch the league title, while their bitter opponents, Stade Renard of Melong, badly needed victory. Like human beings require oxygen to leapfrog Opopo in the title race. With their brilliance, Victoria United replaced Coton Sport Garoua as Cameroon's First Division champions. It was Cameroonian international Wilfried Nathan Douala who gave his team the title, bringing the match to a balanced pendulum with 10 minutes remaining. Their 2-all tie with Stade Renard of Melong means that Victoria United finished as the topmost club of the National Elite One with 13 points harvested, closely followed by the Cotton Pluckers, Coton Sport Garoua with 10 points and Stade Renard of Melong 9 points. This is Victoria United's first league title since the club was created in 1976. However, their success has been watered down by serious accusations of match fixing, which the officials of the team have debunked. Opopo becomes only the second club west of the Mongo to brandish the National Elite One League, 15 years after the Samba Boys, Tico United, did the same. Now that their dream has come true, Victoria United will represent Cameroon in the next edition of the CAF African Champions League. They must immediately go back to the drawing board if they intend to give a proper account of themselves.
We thank Father Solomon Lyonga Ikundi for that beautiful report on sports, delivering the success of Opopo Victoria United FC. Now we take you out of the country where Kenya's president has declared 3 days of national mourning following the death of 9 people in a helicopter crash, including the country's military chief. And Zimbabwe president has granted independence clemency to more than 4,000 prisoners including those on death row as the country celebrates its Independence Day. Aloysius Leke takes a close look at these international stories and now reports.
Kenya's military chief General Francis Ogola died in a helicopter crash west of the country. President William Ruto announced Thursday and declared 3 days of national mourning. The helicopter was carrying 11 people, including General Ogola, when it crashed Thursday and caught fire in a remote area near the border with Uganda, killing 9 people on board, the president said. It is unclear what caused the crash. General Ogola, 61, was on a tour of the country's troubled western region that has seen frequent attacks by local bandits. He was appointed Kenya's Chief of Defense Forces in April last year after General Robert Kibechi retired. Political controversy surrounded Ogola even before his appointment, when he was accused by the country's Electoral Commission chairperson as being part of the National Security Council delegation that tried to influence the outcome of the 2022 general election against President Ruto. Ruto later explained that he called General Ogola before his appointment and said that despite the election controversy, he was the most qualified for the job. General Ogola joined Kenya's military force 40 years ago. He was a graduate of École Militaire de Paris, the National Defense College of Kenya, Egerton University, and the University of Nairobi. General Ogola is survived by his wife, Ellen, 2 children, and a grandson. Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa granted clemency to more than 4,000 prisoners, including some who were on death row, in an Independence Day amnesty on Thursday. Zimbabwe marked 44 years of independence from white minority rule, which ended in 1980 after a bloody bush war. The country's name was changed from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe. The presidential amnesty, the second in less than a year, benefits female, older, and juvenile inmates, the terminally ill, and some who were originally sentenced to death. Those ones on death row but who had their sentences commuted to life terms in previous clemency orders or through court appeals are to be free provided they have been in prison for at least 20 years, according to the clemency order which went in effect on Thursday. All female prisoners who had served at least a third of their sentence by Independence Day are being freed, as well as juvenile inmates who have served the same period. Prisoners aged 60 and older who have served 1/10 of their sentences will also be released. Mnangagwa also pardoned the blind and others with disabilities who have served a third of their sentences. The prisoners have been released in batches across the country.
That reports on our foreign page with Aloysius Leke rounds off Divine Mercy Prime tonight. But before we let you go, let's review the headlines once more. The importance and works of catechists brought to the fore this day as they converged on the St. Charles Lwanga Parish Moleko for their annual general meeting. In a mass presided today for them by the Bishop, His Lordship Michael Bibi, he reminded them of the primary role of their vocation. Intercomprehensive High School pays a practical visit to the printing press of the Diocese of Buea. This is to enhance the students' abilities on industry standard education. And Victoria United, also known as Opopo, is the champion of the 2024 National Elite on Championship. They were crowned yesterday after beating Stade Reynard of Melong. Thank you for watching Divine Mercy Prime. Stay tuned and remain glued for more interesting programs on DMR TV. Have a restful night. Up next shall be Mountain Echoes. Good night.